What's up, people? I'm back. Tales from the pen. We got a live interview tonight. You know, I told you guys the other night we're gonna be doing a live interview tonight. And let me shout out there some people who are here. We're gonna wait some people get in the building. Chris Irwin, Dallas, Texas. I see you. Quad Rex, much love from Ireland. Salute to Ireland. You know, I love my Irish people. Ab Bridge, okay, Canada in the building. Sports fan, I see you, brother. Eli, as always. Former E-Bear, I see you. Salute to you, brother. Yeah, man, like I said, we got a nice little interview today. I'm going to wait till a few more people get up in here. You guys know that StreamYard is a little bit behind. Sometimes it's like behind like 30 seconds, something like that, as far as messages and stuff like that. So don't nobody take it personal. And you guys know when I do the interviews, I like to just focus on that. So Chris Rodriguez, I see you, brother. Salute. Yeah, man, tonight, man, like I said, we got a live interview. My man Everlazt, you know, he got a story to tell, man. And it's a positive one. And that's what I like to, you guys already know, that's what I like to bring to the channel, man. I like to see some positivity, you know what I mean? You know, I like to see people who go from the struggle to what, you know, something positive. And, you know, that's what we're going to do, man. All right, we got a bunch of people up in here already. I'm going to bring them up in here. Mikey Woo Woo, I see you. Quadrex from Ireland, too. Okay, New York Irish Patty, I see you, bro. What's good, Patty? All I love, man. Swifty, I see you. Andy. Okay, yeah, Andy, hit me up. You know, Andy from Australia, we're going to bring him on. So anyway, man, we're about to bring my man up in here. My man Everlast, but he just vanished. So, Ev, if you're watching this, click back on the link because you vanished. Nick Henry, what's going on? Yeah, I see you haven't been around, man. Canadian Lungbusters, salute. There you go. Okay, I see you, bro. Let me get you back up in here. There we go. Kevin Berg, there he is.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
How's it going, big bro? You can hear me good?
I can hear you.
Okay, I hear you good. You can hear me good?
I can hear you a little.
Okay, that's what it is. You hear?
You hear me good?
Probably the headphones over there. Yeah, I'm good. I hear you good, man. Hey, man, you know, first and foremost, I want to thank you for coming on here, you know what I mean? Coming on my platform and and telling your story, because you're the kind of person that people, number one, need to hear. And number two is that you're the kind of person that I talk about when I say, you know, you can take the negative and turn it to some type of positive, man. So why don't you let the people know, you know, who you are, where you from, and what your situation is, my boy.
Well, basically, I'm Author Everlazts. I'm from Queens. I'm from the South Bronx originally, and then I moved to Queens. And after being in Queens for some time, I ended up doing some time. And while I was locked up, I found out that I had this talent to write. So I had a lot of time. So that gave me a lot of time to develop, you know, a kind of different style or do different things with writing and test myself with poetry and writing rhymes. I used to read rhyming. That's how I really started. I used to be rhyming on the gate, and that shit
for those who don't know, you know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, rhyming on the gate is like, it's something very important in prison. You know what I mean? Like sometimes a dude probably used to call down, "Yo, Ev, get on the gate, let me hear something," right? And then, you know, just to entertain the people. Am I right? Come on, man. Tell him, man. Tell him like it is.
Yeah, it used to be battles. It used to be all of that, man. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Like it was real. Like it was real. Right. That's, you know, hip hop is so important to us, man. Like we all grew up on it. So to learn how to do that, and I didn't know I knew how to do that, and I was like, yo, this is cool, but I want to do something else because I had a lot of time, and I was like, I know I ain't gonna be. If I ever get out of here, I'm not gonna be no rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I thought about writing a book, and I went to the box. I got sent to the box for like, I had like 3 years or some shit like that.
3 years in the box. Damn.
Yeah, they gave me 3 years. It was hectic.
It was hectic. I get it. We gonna get it to all that.
I was like, yo, I'm like, damn, what I'm gonna do with 3 years, yo? So I was like, damn, I started learning business. I was like, because I was reading a lot in the box. So I was reading business, history, all kinds of shit. And I was like, let me try to write a book. Because I seen that at the time, people was publishing their own books and selling them like out the trunk of their car.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a hustler, you know what I'm saying? So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, I could do that shit. You know what I'm saying? If I go to the town, because, you know, dude don't want to go back to the town to sell drugs or do robberies again. So you're like, yo, what can I do?
But that seems
And
to be a lot of people's plans when they don't have the plan. You know what I'm saying?
well, that's bad because that time, it's like this time of being quarantined. Like you got to think about yourself and what yourself can do and what you could do. You know what I'm saying? Forget everybody else and all that other shit, because you know people be chasing shit that don't even make sense nowadays. But
Correct. Correct. Go ahead.
I thought about it and I was like, yo, let me write a joint. So I wrote Real Always Wins first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it it took me like 8 months to write this joint.
Okay.
And I wrote it and I was like, yo, I think I was going back to population.
Okay.
So I went back to population. You already know when you're population, everything changes. You back, it's like you're back in the streets, you know what I'm
Yeah, you're
saying?
not confined 24 hours in your cell. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. So
Right.
I'm running around and my mind is somewhere else, but I'm getting ideas. So eventually I ended back up in the box, you know what I'm saying? I had like a year, something like that at the time. And I went and I wrote
Damn, man,
two more books.
you stay up in that box, bro. Damn.
Yo, listen,
Nah, no, I
I
tell you, it's hard. It's hard to stay out of trouble, man. That's the way it goes.
yeah, man, I was in there, man. I was banging hard at the time,
Right,
man. You know what
right,
I'm
right,
saying? Like
right, right.
I did 14 years, and out of the 14 years, I probably got half in the box and half in population. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay.
Because I was all over the damn place, man. I was in Clinton, Comstock, all over the place. You know
Right,
what I'm
we was in
saying?
Clinton together. You know what I mean? We was just on different sides,
Yeah,
but yeah, we
yeah.
was there together.
That's when I was a young. That's when I just got my time, like really got
Right,
all of my time,
right.
and I was just like they
This is the
put me in the middle
remix.
of Clinton
This is the
Yard.
remix
Yeah.
version right here. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, word. And I was
Just the
like,
watered
oh
down Ev.
shit.
I got you. I got you.
Word, man. This was crazy. But
Right,
I
right.
learned a lot, man, from that experience. That experience, I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I just took it and said, yo, you know, because I didn't come home with anything, Fred. You know what I'm saying? I just came home with a net bag full of books, you heard, and a dream. You know what I'm saying?
Dream,
That's it.
dream.
I've been
But
home
you know
like
they
10
say
years now.
dreams are the blueprints to your success. So you have to start with that. You know what I'm saying? Definite. That's a fact.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
man, and the shit was powerful, man. It was
Mhm.
powerful because when you trying to achieve some goals, that resistance is always gonna be in your way. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you just gotta learn how to either dodge it or go through the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And
Correct.
I just
Correct.
kept going, man. I ended up publishing 3 books. You know what I'm
Right.
saying,
So
on my
raw
own, like
one.
designing
Real always
raw,
wins part one.
raw. I
Raw
had
two.
when
And the journey
when I
to the
first
kingdom
came
of
home,
soul.
I published. Yeah, I published this first, right? I published
Journey
this
to the
first
kingdom of
because
soul.
this Journey to the Kingdom of Soul. This is
Mhm.
it's a fantasy, and I wanted
Mhm.
to mix like hip hop into the fantasy with talking animals and people with powers and stuff like that. I just wanted to do something different. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
With Papa Big.
So
Papa
I did
Big.
that. Yeah, Papa Big, my man Papa Big, who is
Yeah.
big, who is Biggie, you know what I'm
Right. Of
saying?
course. Of
And
course. Right.
Lady Light is Faith Evans, and I just mixed the
Right.
people up and changed the names, but I wanted to be powerful where the state of hip hop is under attack. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
And
that was the first one you published,
what
even though Raw Part One was done already.
but this was the first one I published when I came home, but Raw was the first one I wrote when I
No.
was locked up. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Got you. Got you.
And by the time I wrote this, I was like testing myself writing because I wanted to write something different. You know, you can sit there and you could be a person that writes about relationships, right? And you write 20 books about relationships, but after that, then what? You know what I'm saying? I didn't
Right.
want to
Right.
be that type of writer. I wanted to be a writer that had different different genres, different themes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Different styles. You
Different
know what I'm
style. Yeah,
saying?
that fantasy one is different than Raw 1 and Raw 2. Raw 1 and Raw 2 is more along the lines of the Donald Goins, the Iceberg Slims, who, you know what I mean, who probably influenced you a little bit. Because I know, come on, man, I know at those times, that's what was
Yeah,
I read every Donald Goins book, all of Iceberg Slims, everything, you know what I mean? All the Kenyattas, you know what I'm talking about, Ev, you know what I mean? So that I'm sure that had
yeah,
like a little bit of influence, you know what I mean? Right?
yeah. They definitely did, man. They definitely did. I read all of them joints, man. You know, going back and forth to the box, you read a lot, and
That's it.
I set it off with reading a lot of Donald Goins. I probably read all the Donald Goins that I could
Yeah,
get my hands on at
I
the
believe
time
it.
because
I
the
believe
shit
it.
was good to me.
Yeah.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? It
Yes.
shit was
It was a
real
different.
good to me.
It was different than anything else I had too. So that's,
Yeah,
I read all of that.
yeah.
I did all of that. All of those. Then I went on to start reading other Dean Koontz and things like that. But I read all the Donald Goins
Right,
ones, man.
right, right, right,
Right.
right. And James Patterson. James Patterson was
Yeah.
hot at the time. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes, he was. You know what
He
I'm
was
saying?
hot at
Yes,
the
he
time.
was.
All his
Yeah,
shit
he
he
did
was just
a bunch of
passing over
movies
around.
now. They got a bunch of
Yeah,
movies. Yeah, that's how
yeah,
it goes.
yeah,
Yo, when you're done with that reading, let me get that, man. You know what I'm saying? Right? You know what I mean? When you're
yeah,
done with that book, man, pass that down. You know what I'm saying? There's
yeah,
nothing else to do in
yeah,
this motherfucker. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's what that was. That's what that was, man. That's what
Right,
that
right.
was. And that watching him and reading him, James Patterson, and watching
Mm-hmm.
his stuff go to movies like that
The cat and mouse
really
and all that.
inspired me.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, that shit inspired me to say, yo, I can do the same thing with my stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Nice, nice, nice. Let me
So
ask you, man. Let
I
me let
start
me ask you real. Let me
what up?
ask you real quick, man. But let's take it back a little bit, right? I want to, because my channel is, I do this for the kids, man. That's what I do. Even though a lot of my viewers they're from all over the world and they just like to hear about prison stories and things like that. But mostly my structure is for the kids, right? Won't you tell us just a little bit, if we can, maybe go back and tell us a little bit about like how you grew up and like what led you to the decisions that you made that you ended up having to go to prison. I'm not talking, you don't have to say exactly, but the attitudes and behaviors that maybe led you to prison. Because there's a lot of kids that watch this and they're going to be able to relate to what you're talking about.
Well, when I got knocked off, New York was different, man. You know what I'm saying? New York was really tough back then. There was no cameras. It was none of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we was 14 and 15 walking around with big ass 45s on us. And that was
Mm-hmm.
the norm. You know what I'm saying?
Normal.
That
Yeah,
was
there
the
wasn't,
norm.
right. Mm-hmm.
And to top it off, police only had 38s. We was running around with Mac 11s and
Biggest
shit
shit.
like that. They only had 38s, yo. You know what I'm saying? So in our eyes, they couldn't fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? They
That's
couldn't
right.
fuck with us unless they
Mm-hmm.
came with the army type shit. So
I
we
got
was
you.
really some mean dudes out there, man. And I lived in a part of Queens where we was a target. We was a target because we was making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Back then, we
Salute to
had
Flushing. Salute to my hometown. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
salute
Flushing,
to the
Queens.
wastelands, Colden, 45th and
Yeah.
Colden. 45th and Colden was the corner.
We gotta
That was the
get that in,
block.
man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was
Yeah.
the block,
Of
wastelands.
course.
And
Yep.
we made a lot of money, man, as young kids on that corner, man. We made too much money where we didn't know what the fuck we was doing. We had no guidance, yo. You know what I'm saying? We had no guidance. All we had was we knew to connect. It was uptown. You know what I'm saying? And if you came up there with money, they was gonna serve you.
Sorry.
That's it.
Right. That's
You
it.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
You take it back to Queens, you cook it up, and
Yep.
you hit the block. You
You
know what I'm
make them
saying? If you're
cookies and hit
strong
the
enough, you
block.
won't get
Yeah.
robbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're
Correct.
strong enough, you
Correct.
won't get robbed. And that's the way how it went, man. You know what I'm saying? And
Facts.
at the time, I was I was moving, man. I was going out of town. I was coming back. I was doing so much shit, man. And I made a deal uptown. I went uptown and I went to buy a lot of coke, man. And the deal went bad. It shit just went totally bad. You know what I'm saying? The police
Okay.
showed up. I wasn't trying to go to jail. Me and the police got into it. They ended up shooting me. I went to prison. That was
Mm.
it. You heard?
So you went to
So
prison with a gun. You went to prison shot, right? You went to jail shot.
yeah,
You
yeah.
were on the
I got
island with a
shot.
wound.
Yeah, I got shot right on the corner of 160th and Broadway, man.
Okay.
1996.
Okay.
March 27, 1996. You know what I'm
Got you.
saying?
Okay.
Never
Okay.
forget that night.
Okay.
It shit just went crazy.
Okay.
So, you know, I went to trial on my shit. You know what I mean? Because at the time I was wanted in Queens. You know what I'm saying? I was wanted in Queens, so I was on a run for a while, probably for like some months that I probably didn't even realize, you heard. But
Okay.
because I was moving so much, you know what I'm saying? When you in a game back then, you was moving, man, because there was no cameras, yo. Like nobody
Right.
knew where you was going or coming. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
we was moving with ease. And that shit just felt so crazy, man, that shit just stopped like that. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
just was talking to somebody and I told him I haven't seen my life just stop like this before since the night I got shot. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Mm.
Everything stopped that night. Like my whole life changed right then and there, and I didn't even realize it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And eventually it might have been
Or
for the
because
better.
it took me a long time.
Right.
It took me a long time to process that shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because when I went to trial on my police case, and I I beat the attempt on police, I beat the robbery, and I blew to the gun. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
So the CPW 2, CPW 3, criminal
Mm-hmm.
possession of a
That's a
weapon in
rep.
the second, they gave me like 7 years for that, and criminal possession of a weapon in the third, they gave me like 6 years for that. So that's 13, right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Then I told you I was on a run in Queens, so I went to trial in Queens. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to trial on everything right now. Like I'm like, yo, it
Right.
wasn't me. I don't care.
Right.
They
Yeah, I
shot
don't
me
know.
on the scene. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't know shit. You know what I'm saying?
It
You got to
wasn't
prove
me.
me wrong.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So I went to try. I went to trial in Queens, and I blew in Queens. So a robbery. Robbery 1 gave me another 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, God damn, man, this shit is getting out of control. Mind you, I've been on the island now for like 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? And everybody that
Yeah.
knows that been on Rikers Island, if you've been on Rikers Island that long,
Yeah.
you are wilding. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
you
Yo,
are
yo,
you
Ev,
are
I
out of
tell people
control.
all the time, man. You see in some of my videos. Oh no, Ev, damn, where he go? We got to get back. Ev got to come back up in here. We lost Ev for a minute, man. I don't know what happened. Hold on, let's see if he can get it back up in here. He just vanished. Somebody wrote, where'd he get shot? Here he goes. He got shot on the Broadway. He said that. Let me see. Let me get him back up in here.
All right.
There you
You
go. All
working?
right, yeah, you back. You back. You back. Yeah, nah, everybody's saying, damn, where'd he go? Nah, you here. You good?
Yeah.
You good? You can hear me? All right, good. Yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
man. I tell everybody all the time, man, about Rikers Island back in the days. It was different. You know what I'm saying? It was different. It was just a different atmosphere. And this is what I try to bring. Sometimes I try to paint a picture so that these kids can understand. Like
Yeah.
back in the days, man, if you couldn't even touch the phone unless you was willing to fight for it. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes meals, you'd have to fight for. Like Rikers Island was a different time back then. And the 90s, like you said, in New York City, period, because the average murder rate in New York City back then was 2,300. Now it's less than 300. So when these dudes start
Yeah.
talking about that this era is all wild, I just say, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? The average murder rate now is 300. Back then it was 2,300. Do the math. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot more. You know what
Word.
I'm
It
saying?
was
So
yeah,
it was a
it was
different
crazy, man.
atmosphere. And Rikers Island, like you said, was
That
wild back then. Yeah.
that shit was out of control, man. I came on Rikers Island when the Bloods was like starting to circulate, and they was really at war with the Latin Kings and the Nietas. You know what I'm saying? And I had
Okay.
no idea what the fuck was going on or what.
Right.
I ain't
Right.
heard of no New York City Bloods, like you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's a fact.
So I got in the middle of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like dead ass in the middle of that shit, and I'm on Rikers Island. I blew trial in '96. They sent me up top to downstate to get my number and all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
then I ended up coming back down because of my other cases. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay. Okay.
While I was on the island, while I was on the island, I caught 5 new charges. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Like that's how wild it was back then. You know what I'm saying? I caught
Different.
5 new cases. I caught 2 police shootings, and I caught fucking 3 cuttings. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It
right,
was different, yo. Like that you was banging like that. It was that hard to bang. So that
right. Oh, he keeps going out. I don't know what's going on. But when he just said through 2 police shootings, that means getting it on with the police or stabbing or fighting the police. He didn't actually mean like he shot police in jail. You know what I mean? So that's just, I just want to clarify that for everybody so that they understand. Yeah, nah,
damn,
it's all love.
disconnection, man.
I was just telling everybody about, you didn't actually shoot people to police on Rikers Island. You shot means something different. You know what I mean? I didn't want nobody to take, because you got to remember,
Uh,
our lingo is different. We got people in here from Australia,
yeah,
Ireland.
yeah.
We got people from
Nah,
Canada. We got people from all over. So I want to, what I mean? Sometimes I try to paint
yeah.
a picture so they understand. He didn't actually shoot to police. I don't want nobody bugging on the side. But that's just the way
Nah,
we
no,
call it.
nah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
yeah.
we called it back then. If you cut the police, you know what I'm saying, or
Right,
whatever, or you stab the
right.
police, you call it you shot him.
Right, just
So
like I tell people the frame with the term, like when people say go get your gun, it's not actual gun. Even though people have gotten shot on
yeah,
Rikers Island, if the gun means go get that knife and meet me in the back, motherfucker, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Damn,
So
I done heard that shit in a while. Go get
yeah,
your gun.
go get your gun. You know what I mean? It's like, oh
Yeah,
shit, damn, I gotta go
yeah,
get my
man.
knife and go knife to knife with this guy and hope he doesn't kill me, right? I mean, that's the
Yeah,
mentality, right?
man.
Am I right or wrong, Ev? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Word,
Yeah,
man. Like it's crazy, man. Like you don't when you in the game in the streets, this is the part of the game that you didn't learn. You heard? Like you didn't get anybody to give you a crash course on, yo, listen, you get knocked off, you're gonna end up on Rikers Island. You know what that place is like? You know what I'm
right,
saying? And then
right.
if you end up with real time, you're gonna end up top. Do you know what them niggas is like up there, man? Them
They're
niggas gonna come
different.
at you every day.
Yeah, they're
You know
not
what I'm
playing
saying?
razor
They gonna
tag.
come at you.
They're not playing razor tag
Yo,
half the
come
time.
on.
No,
Nah, man. These dudes, man, they coming to rob you with some big shit, man. You like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah,
whoa. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like,
yes,
yo, man.
exactly, exactly. It's
Wow, man.
different. It's a different vibe.
I
You know
am
what I
so
mean?
glad I survived that shit, yo. That's a
Nah, man.
fact, man.
Nah, I'm
I'm
glad you
so glad
survived too.
that shit, because that shit was some other shit. Like, I never expected, honestly, I never expected to go to prison anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in the game. I ain't care. You know what
Right?
I'm
Who
saying? We
thinks
was
about
out
that?
here. You know what I mean? We
Right?
wasn't thinking about who the fuck thinking about going to prison, you heard?
Exactly,
And
exactly.
being there and learning so much. I mean, prison saved my life, yo. You know what I'm saying? That shit saved
Okay,
my life. Period and dot. You know what I mean?
got it.
You couldn't pay me to read a book before I went to jail. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Couldn't pay me to read a book. The only thing I would read is probably the newspaper and the Source magazine.
So
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
amazing.
That
Right,
was
right,
it.
right, right, right. You know
Word.
what? You
So
know what? You had mentioned something earlier about you learned how to or figured out in jail. There's so many people in jail, and I know you can attest to this. There's so many talented people in jail, man, that didn't realize their talents until they got behind that wall. You know what I
right,
mean? So when was your first time
right.
that you realized, you know what? I could write something like this, and I could do this myself. Like, when was the first time you really realized? Like, what book did you read that really like opened your eyes and said, man, I could do something with my life?
Um when I wrote Real Always Wins, when I actually sat down and actually finished it, because I tried to write a
Okay.
book when I was in Clinton. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But Clinton is a war zone, yo.
Right,
Who the
right,
fuck
right.
can think you're there?
Right,
You
right,
know what I'm
right. Nah,
saying? Who
I
the fuck
know. I
can
was
get
there a
there,
few
man?
years. I
So
know. I know.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I ended up what what's really had me going for a while in there was learning legal work. I was trying to get out of prison. You know what I mean? Because mind you, I went to trial on all my shit. So I was still trying to get a reversal and all of that. So I was learning a lot of stuff. And when my fit case went to the feds and all this other stuff, and I finally got an answer, uh, I will only have to do 15 years, and that was it. That was it. Like after that, I didn't have nothing else to do but to think of, well, if I get out of here, what the fuck am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's when I came to when I went to Southport with them 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I got into a mean
Mm-hmm.
fight with the police. They tried to take me to one of them them double bunk boxes or whatever it was, and I wasn't trying to feel that. I don't double bunk with nobody, you heard? That was on my card and all of that. So they was trying to play me that night, and I wasn't with the shits, you heard? So we got the shaking. They stomped me out, gave me 3 years in the box, sent me to Southport. I got there, I was like, damn, man. That's when I wrote that. But when I left the box, and then what the fuck did I went to Comstock, I think. And I was in Comstock for a while. I was in Comstock for probably like 2 years. You know what
dirtiest
and
jail ever in the world. Dirtiest shit ever.
But I was in there shaking. Like it was, I was rolling. I was getting my visits, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when you locked up, niggas don't understand. You will not get those visits, B. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a time in that motherfucking bed where you ain't going to get nobody to come through. You know what I'm saying?
That's how it goes.
So I started getting visits again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm shaking in population. I'm running around, boom, boom, boom. We shaking the building. And then I went to the box. And while I was in population, though, I was trying to get somebody to help me with my book in the streets. And I couldn't get it right. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't get it right. Like, you know, it's like they was in the street and they was paying attention to the street.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't matter what the fuck I had. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
So I was like, damn, man. And I went back to the box. I got into another fight with the police or whatever. They sent me to the box. I went to Southport for a year, some shit. And I wrote 2 more joints. Came out, went on a tour to Auburn and Attica and all this shit real quick and ended back up in Southport. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I really said, yo, that's when I wrote Journey to Kingdom Soul. Because I was like, yo, I got to get different with this shit. You know what I'm saying? What else can I do? And I said, yo, I could write movies. I could write a TV show. Yo, I could just write some shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I started doing. And that's when I really started bubbling it. And I was learning business at the same time. I was ordering business books. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a lot of shit, ordering stuff from Albany, you know, like the tax office or the fucking SBA. You know what I'm saying? Just sending me information. They would just send me packets of stuff, you heard? And I would just sit there and read it because I ain't had nowhere to go, yo.
Yeah, it ain't like you was doing anything else, right?
Yeah, and I learned all of that shit just sitting there doing that. And then when I finally came out, I think I went to Elmira or some shit. And from Elmira, that's when I was like getting short to really come home. Because Elmira, I went to the board and they shot me down. You know what I'm saying? They shot me down. They was like, yo, you know, you been in here. I think it was like 12 years. They're like, you ain't did no programs. And I was like, yo, what programs? You know what I'm saying?
Like keep me in it. You keep me in the box, trying to give me Snickers and Southport. How the hell am I gonna make some programs?
I was like programs. So I don't. So they made me do programs to get out. You know what I'm saying? And that shit was a horrible. Like I think it took me like 14 months to do all the programs they wanted me to do.
They made you do ASAT and all that.
Cut me loose. They made me do all that shit, son. They made me do ASAT. They made me do the balance shit twice.
Yeah,
that shit. They made me do that shit twice.
That's crazy because me and Ja was running the program in Clinton. Me and Ja was the ART teachers in Clinton. You know what I'm saying? You know, remember Ja? You know Ja? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I had to do all that same thing. So it's just as you telling me. Sometimes like my aunt says, sometimes in these interviews you smile too much and you get to. It's not that. It's just taking me back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like when you talking about ART, and I'm like, damn, I actually taught that shit in Clinton while we was there. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So they made you take all the programs, go ahead, and eventually let you out, basically.
Yeah. Oh, I did the programs and shit, and they had to cut me loose, man. They sent me on a journey back to Auburn. All this bullshit they tried to keep me in it, but they had to cut me loose, man. You know what I'm saying? And I came home. I think I had a year on parole. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I had a year on parole, and I knocked that shit down. Like I came home, I was focused, yo. Like I wanted to be out here. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do things. Like it took me a while though to really publish my shit because I didn't know how to type. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That was the one thing about jail. Like, you don't fucking, at the time, you wasn't, I had a typewriter in there, but it's not the same as using a computer.
Right.
And
Right.
I was able to learn general business when I was in Elmira. Because that was one of the programs that they made me take. It's like, yo, you gotta take some. And I was like, yo, I'm not going home to be no plumber or none of that shit. So why the fuck would I do that? You know what I mean? And the dude was like, yo, you could take general business. They got computers up there. And I was like, what? Well, all right. And I went up there, and you can actually do whatever you wanted to do at the time, like learn what you wanted to learn. And I said, all right, cool. This is cool. So I started messing with that. And I got a little nice with the computer. And then I came home and got a laptop. You know, my sister got me a laptop and all this other stuff, and I was able to move around. But it took me a while to publish my shit because I didn't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I didn't
Right.
have nobody to tell me how to do it neither. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like it was like the hardest thing in the world trying to find an agent and all of this crap, yo, an editor. I had to pay somebody to edit my shit. I had to pay them like $1,800. Like, come on, yo. Like a lot of shit I went through to get my shit done. You know what I'm saying? I had to pay a nigga to do the cover because I didn't know how to do cover art back then. I didn't know how to do none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I just went with it. With whatever dollar I got, I'ma flip it into my dream. I'ma flip it into my dream. Fuck it. Because I'm like, yo, if I could print the books, I could sell the shits and make bread, you heard? That was my whole deal. So I finally did it. And at the time, I was working in Madison Square Garden. So I had, access to a lot of people.
Okay.
And I was able to sell my shit, to people and move around and sign it or whatever, and this, that, and the third. So I got my feet wet with that. And then when I hit with Real Always Wins, that was it. Like I started really running around and selling my shit here and there and going out of town and doing a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, it was a nice run, man. You know what I mean? Like the book thing was a nice run. But I always wanted to transition into making movies. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So,
Making mini series and stuff like that.
right.
You know what I mean?
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that transition. You know what I mean? Because we got the books. We're gonna put all of that up in the description too, everybody. So you can go on Amazon to see it. It's called Raw. It's Real Always Wins. Then there's part 2 to that. Part 1, you know what I mean, is
Right.
basically about somebody, living their life, in the hood, doing their thing, Daquan. And
Yeah.
then the second book, we ain't gonna get too much into it. Is more or less like the transition from
Yeah.
prison to coming home. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's those books. But all those books, I'm gonna put everything in the description because people are asking me. I'm gonna put all of that in the description, people, so you guys can see, and you guys
Yeah.
can, go support them and read it and
This
check
is
them out, man.
this is raw too. You know what I'm saying? So you can
Yeah,
see what it is.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yep.
It's raw
And that's more
too.
the transition. That more is the transition of coming home from prison and struggles. You know what I mean? That's what
Well,
that
he
is.
well he gets knocked off.
Yeah,
He gets
yeah.
knocked off and
I don't
he's
want to give it up
he,
because there's certain characters are in part 2, and I don't want to give it up. You with me? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but yeah, son is going through it. He's learning the system.
Right.
People dudes don't understand that this whole thing is a system, yo. From the drugs getting into the country to it coming into the hoods to you getting arrested with it to that police getting a check for that. Now you got to deal with a DA, a lawyer, you know what I'm saying, a judge. All of this is the system.
To
And then you
you,
go from there,
yeah.
you go from there, you go inside. That's
Yeah.
another system
Another
inside.
system.
You know what I'm saying?
10 cents an hour
Yeah, like it's
system.
all. Oh man, people don't even believe that one,
14
yo.
cents. 14 cents if you really lucky. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People
yeah,
don't believe me either.
yeah,
They're like, you did not work for
yeah,
14 cents. I said, man, I swept the
yeah.
mop for 14 cents an hour, man. So
Yeah,
anything they
I was
throw
a
at me
porter the
now
whole
is
time.
nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I was a porter like a motherfucker.
You
That's why they
crazy.
was like, yo, you ain't do no programs. You was just a porter the whole time. Yeah,
Yo,
what the
yo,
fuck?
even little
Yeah.
maintenance, janitorial jobs I've had out here. They're like, damn, you can mop and clean windows. And in my mind, I'm like, if you have no fucking idea. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, what a motherfucker had to work for.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
have you
Yeah,
ever done
man.
this? Have you ever gone to school for it? And in my mind, I'm like, I got a master's degree. You motherfuckers just don't know. I'm like, nope, never done it before. You know what I'm saying?
I got a master's degree in this shit.
You already know, man. You
Yeah.
already know. So why don't you tell the people about how
Mm-hmm.
the producing thing, because the Bando Snatcher, we're gonna definitely plug that, people. Real quick, go on YouTube and check out the Bando Snatcher, Bando Snatcher. Real simple. It's about somebody, he was homeless and how he takes over apartment buildings and helps other homeless people. But Ev, talk about that, man. Talk about how you transitioned from the book field into the producing and everything else you've been through. Talk to me.
Oh, well, when I was coming up with this mad scheme idea and to sell somewhere, I always put together a budget, right? I used to put together budgets and shit,
Okay.
you know what I mean, just to fill myself out. And I always put in camera equipment because I wanted to film stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So as I've been out here and I was shaking with the books and moving around or whatever, I'd use whatever I made to buy camera equipment, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I had this friend that I knew, and he knew the Bando, you know what I'm saying? And he had introduced me to him. Now the Bando, he came to me, he wanted to story or whatever. His story was unique to me. First of all, I was bugging like, yo, how the fuck did this dude take over a whole building and that's it? Like, they can't do nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? He renovated it. It ain't living in it. It's not like they living in it and it was like super twisted still. You know what I'm saying? Like they fixed it. Like they painted the rooms and stuff like that. It's just a lot of the house they couldn't fix. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have the money for that.
I saw the basement.
The shit that they did, the shit that they did fix, it was like stuff that they could get, like probably a can of paint from this one and this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? The tube that he had the water, he had to run the water from the basement all the way upstairs to the second floor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And through a hose. Matter of fact, through the hose. I was bugging when I seen the whole setup, son. I was like, "Yo, you're ill." You know what I'm saying? And the thing that had got me was that he was willing to house other homeless people. Other homeless people was living it. You know what I'm saying? They just wasn't there when he was showing me around and shit. You know
right.
So I was like, yo, this is a dope story, man. Yo, what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? And we was going to film a couple of them shits. You know what I mean? Because he was going to take more bandos. He was going to get on some shit where he was going to take more bandos and house people for real in it. You know what I'm saying? And he fucked around and got locked up with some shit. I don't know what the fuck happened to him, but he just disappeared, son. Because they came to pay him to lead a crib. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They came to pay the nigga to lead a crib. And I was bugging like, wow, this is a ill plan. Like he was locked up. And that's the plan that he came up with. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he did 15 years,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna go home and snatch abandoned buildings. Like, who the hell thinks of that? You know what I'm saying?
House myself. Yeah, like, yo, I'm gonna house myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, what? Yo, you done this win? Yo, get the fuck out of here, yo.
And he did
it. Like, that was an ill story, and I was really trying to help him. Like, yo, we was trying to get the word out. We was trying to get people to donate to them so they could buy stuff to fix the rest of the house, because the shit was kind of twisted. You know what I'm saying? Especially the water situation, and I think they didn't have no gas in there or something like that.
Nah, they didn't have gas. Yeah, they had lights, but they didn't have no gas.
He had heaters. He had wild heaters in there. You know what I'm saying? He had wild heaters in there, so it was like. And he had the lights on. The lights was on. So that was all good. But it's a really dope story. Everybody should go watch it. You know what I'm saying?
It's on YouTube.
It. Give a comment, subscribe. You know what I mean? How y'all do? I'm working on some other stuff right now. We kind of on a delay with this quarantine up here in the tri-state area. We really hit, so it's like we kind of really stuck, so we can't really plan but so far, you know what I mean? So far ahead. But I got work for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna love it. That's for real, because my shit is always real. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, and
So they gonna definitely see.
that's what's
They
up.
gonna definitely see,
That's
yo.
what's up. And it's ironic that your book is called Real Always Wins, but you have 1 and 2 raw, right? But the reality is, man, sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes it's these fakes that be winning, man, and it disturbs me. You know what I mean? Sometimes these
Mm,
fakes is out here,
yeah,
and you can look at them and they fake as hell with their goofy ass hair and all the rest of this stuff. And you could just look at them and say, man, and I judge people and I say, man, they couldn't live where I lived, at that, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, sometimes it's
yeah,
crazy because the fake seems like they winning, man. So I'm glad that, you got that book, Real Always Wins, you know what I
yeah.
mean? And, hopefully the real can, you know what I'm talking about, hopefully the real
Hmm.
can overcome the
Yeah.
fake, man. But I love your
Sometimes
story,
somebody
man.
got to
Yeah.
speak for the real, man.
Sometimes people,
Somebody got to speak for the real. Sometimes, you heard?
right? It's true, man. And
I
you know
just
what?
I just chosen.
You know what I like? I like that you pursued your dreams, or you pursued, because I know for a fact, you ain't even got to tell me
Yeah.
that there was people that tell you you couldn't do it, or there's people that were
Oh
naysayers.
yeah,
Right. It's always like
yeah,
that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, and sometimes you just have to do things yourself. Like, like even for last night, I sat here. I didn't know how to build a website in my life. I sat here for 6 hours and I built the website by myself, right? Because I say to myself, no one's gonna have that vision that how I want it, like I do, right? You know what I mean?
Right,
No one's gonna
right.
understand your dreams and your passions like you. You know what I mean? So I salute to you, and
That's right.
I'm glad you changed your
Thank you, man.
circumstances and things like that, man. And I'm glad you changed everything in your
Appreciate
life, and you're doing something positive, and you did some producing in a radio show too, didn't you?
it. Yeah, the oh yeah, we also
Yeah, talk to me.
we
Talk to
got
him. El
El
Punto.
Punto the spot.
Okay, I'm gonna
El
put that
Punto
up.
the spot. El Punto the spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
El
that up
Punto
now.
the spot. It's on YouTube. El Punto the Spot is on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? El Punto the Spot is a radio show out here in New York City where we was interviewing independent music artists and business owners, small business owners, actors, actresses, directors, book writers. We had them all come through. You know what I'm saying? It's powered by Adventures Music and Chris Gotti. You know what I'm saying? Chris Gotti got Adventures Music for all the independent artists that's out there. If you make music or whatever the case may be, and you want to keep your independence or you want to do certain things, check out Adventures Music. You know what I'm saying? I don't get no pay for no plugs. You know what I'm saying? I don't get
Yeah,
no
it's
pay for
all
no
love. It's
plugs.
all love. It's
So
all love.
you know what I
Right.
mean? But Chris Gotti is the homie for real. You know what I'm saying? Chris Gotti took a shot with me. You know what I'm saying? He took a real shot with me at a time where I didn't know which way to go. And he told me, yo, come with me, check this shit out. What can you do with this? And it was El Punto the spot. You know what I mean? It was just a regular radio show. And I said, yo, I could turn this shit into a fucking visual for real. You know what I mean? And I did that. You know what I'm saying? So but we got shut down. Corona done hit everybody up.
Corona
You know
hit
what I'm
everybody.
saying?
Yeah, no, even all the parts of the world.
So I don't. But
Yo, so,
I got plenty of shows up there, plenty of shows, plenty of interviews, plenty of live performances from the artists that came through. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of shit is on there, man. Irv
yeah, we gonna
Gotti,
get.
fucking T, OG Star Kim show. Like a lot of people came through and they did their thing. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
was
now
blessed
we gonna
to
get my
film
man.
them, meet
My man.
them, all of that.
My man
Yeah.
is in the building, always going to eat. I don't know if you've seen Blitz Bundy's interview that I did last week. You got to check him out. An artist out of the Bronx. Maybe we could do something with him. But it's good. You know what's crazy? Quick story. So the guy who put us two together, he's telling me, he's like, yeah,
Man,
Everlast.
that shit's stupid.
He used to work with Chris Gambino. I'm like, who the heck is Chris Gambino? He's like, Ja Rule, 50 cents.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
He's like, Chris Gambino. I'm like, you mean Chris Gotti? Yeah. Shout out to my man. Oh, he's an older Spanish dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
Shout out
man
to
is
man.
the fucking greatest. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
My
yeah,
man
yeah.
is the greatest,
He was
man.
like, you
That's
gotta
what
know
I
him.
know, man.
He's like, you gotta know him. He messes with Chris Gambino. I'm like, who the fuck is Chris chill. I'm like, oh, Chris Gotti. It's Gotti, not Gambino. They're not all the crime families are the same. Stop the bullshit. No, I was a good dude, man. You know, it is what it is, man. But you know, sometimes people, you know what? Chris Gotti might have saw something in you that maybe you didn't even see in yourself. You know what I'm saying? He knew that you could get the job done. So that's all that matters, man.
Yeah, nah, son took a chance on me. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? I came through and we did our thing, man. We went on tour. You know what I'm saying? We did a lot of shit, man. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
We
right.
did a lot of shit. And they basically shut us all fucking down. They shut the
Yeah,
whole industry down. We are disgusted right now.
nah, I know
Like,
it's
we are
sick. Nah, I get it,
disgusted right
man.
now.
But let me ask you.
Word,
Let
we
me
are
ask you.
sick right
So sometimes when you was
now.
on tour, did you ever look around, man, and just smile and motherfuckers might not even know what you were smiling about, like and just smile and be like, look at me now, look where I'm at now,
Yeah, man. Yeah, yo,
right?
listen, it's amazing, yo.
Right,
Let me where I started seeing it was crazy is when I got the job at Madison Square Garden. You could have never told me that I was gonna come home and be working where the Knicks is playing at. You heard? That was like
right,
our team, like you know what I'm saying? From the 90s, that was like the team, like, yo, the Knicks, they're gonna do something or whatever. If you was that heartbreaking fan or whatever, you went through the motions with them. So for me
right,
to come home and grab a job in there, I was like, yo, oh, this is crazy. And
right,
what comes with working in the garden is you get to be around all the stars. You know what I'm saying? You get to see all these concerts. You get to move around. You get to meet a lot of different people. You know what I mean? And I learned a lot about production being there, even though I wasn't in the production department. You know what I'm
right.
saying? I learned a lot. So I was able to, soak up a lot of shit from there and talk to people and move around. So that's all of that came to play with my transition of wanting to make this and film that, you know what I'm saying? And make all these music videos. I got like 50 music videos I made for El Punto the Spot on there, you know what I'm saying? Different
Okay,
flavors, different people. Or everybody came up with different flavors or whatever. You got, girls that came up to sing or whatever, reggae, soca. You know what I'm saying? You got different. All of them is independent artists though. You know what I'm saying? So they be from all over the place. They be from all over the country. You know what I mean? And they come through. They came through. It was DTF Radio we was at. So they come through. They want to vibe with Chris Gotti and the crew. Ape and the Flash and Don De Niro. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a lot going on with that shit. DJ Marvelous was in the building every night, doing the mixes. Like it was dope, yo. We had a real dope situation going on with that, and that shit ain't even going to stop because once one you can go from another to another dope situation. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
don't let your situation stop. You can always get to another one. You know what I mean? If one folds, you can get another one, especially if you're creative. You heard? So I'm not mad. I'm mad that this whole shit done happened. This Corona shit like tore us apart. But yo, what can we do? We got to come out and do something else, baby. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. That's it. You
Shake
got to
something
keep that.
else. Make something
You got to
else.
keep
You know
that
what I
hustle
mean?
going, no matter what. You know what I mean? And this is what
Yeah,
I try to
man.
get a
Like we
point to
out here.
people. That's what I try to get across, especially to these kids. If you can hustle and you out here grinding, you can do anything. You can do anything else. You can hustle anything else.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's the message, man. And it's
yeah,
crazy because you know it's crazy how like life takes you into different places, right, and paths. But I always believe this, and I know you believe this because you mentioned a little bit something earlier. I believe it was your destiny, for everything that happened to you to be where you
hmm
are right now, and the man that you are, and the person that you are, man, and the family man that you are. Everything that happened to you helped build you and make you the person you are now, man. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
that's just the way it
yeah, yeah.
goes.
No question, no question. I mean, when the situation happens to you like that, like you standing there and they telling you got 27 years. You're like, who the fuck are you talking to?
You're right.
27 years. You know
27.
what
What?
I'm saying?
No, no.
So
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
you're angry
Yeah.
for a long time, you
Yeah.
heard? Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So you can't think straight for a long time. But once my shit started, changing and I started going here and there and I started letting go, like even the dudes that snitched on me, you know, like you have a lot of situations that go on when you get locked up, yo. And I had big money niggas getting on the stand talking about, yeah, it was him, you heard? And that shit fucked me up because back then snitching wasn't that, you know, the way how it is now. Now, you know, a nigga rat on you for fucking kicking his foot or some shit. You know what I mean? But back then,
Yeah.
snitching wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? So for
Right.
me to
Right.
be sitting there and watching these dudes go on the stand and be like, yeah, that was him and this, that, and the third, that shit fucked me up. So I'm like, damn, man, what fuck part of the game is that?
It
Like, this
hurt
is the
you. It
game,
hurt
yo?
you more than anything. It hurt you because you thought that they was down with you. You thought that they was
Word.
100 with you. I have, you know what I mean? I clearly relate because I went to trial on felony murder, and when one of my boys got on the stand was like, "That's him in the blue suit." I'm looking around and shit. I'm like, "Oh shit, he talking about me." I said, "No, this motherfucker talking about me. Where is he at? He's right there in the blue suit." I'm like, "Oh shit, my shit blue."
Yeah,
I was hoping I
yeah,
looked down
man.
and my shit
Yeah.
was green, but it was blue as hell. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
man.
it's
Yeah,
just the way it is, man.
yeah. The shit doesn't add up, man. You'd be like, yo, damn. So for me, I think that it was a blessing that I did get a lot of time, so I had time to think. You know what I'm saying, and time to plan. And nobody said that I was gonna come home and do that shit neither. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody said I was gonna come home and do none of that shit. Like I could have sat there and planned all day, but it was in me to want to come home and do it. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be in the person to want to come home and do it. You know what I mean? You have to be like, yo, I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all of that. Like I'm not listening to that. I'm not listening to these chicks. I'm not listening to these dudes telling me this bullshit. Like I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And stick with it, man. And if you stick with something, you will win in the end. Like dead ass serious. I'm fucking proven fact of that. You heard? Like I didn't sell 1 million books across the world and all this wild shit you heard. I just got it done, son. You know what I'm saying? I just got
Right.
it done. That's it. You know what I mean? Like you don't know how many people I done ran into saying, "Oh, I want to write a book," or I should write a book," but they will never sit their ass down and do that shit.
Correct. Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct. One
They won't
thousand
sit
percent.
down and do it. They
Or
won't sit down and do it. They won't go through the editing process. They
right.
won't go through the process of getting it printed, and they won't think about, well, where am I gonna sell it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where you gonna sell it at, B?
Or they'll try to depend on
You know what I'm
somebody
saying?
else or ask you for like, help put me on. It's like, listen, man, you know what I mean? You gotta get it, you gotta get in where you fit it, man. No one's gonna help you, man. You know what I mean? You have to, you may have some people push you along the way, but unless you're really serious about what you're gonna do and really serious about what you're doing, no one's gonna take you serious. You know what I mean? No one's
Word,
gonna take you
word.
serious,
Yeah,
and
you're right
that's
about
just the
that shit, man.
reality. And
Word,
especially coming out from where we
word.
came from, you know what I mean? Especially coming out from
Yeah,
behind them walls, you know what I mean? Like people sometimes look at you, and no matter what, that's what they see. You know what I mean? Until you prove other. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Until you prove
yeah,
other. And
yeah.
the reality is, I spoke about this before. They have all these programs in the penitentiary. They have all these things that can help you, right? But the reality is, Ev, and I know you're going to 100% agree with me, is you're not going to change unless you want to change yourself. You have to decide that you want to change. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, what kind of man am I going to be? You have to, or woman, you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, what type of person do I want to be? Do I want to keep going back and forth to prison where I know what that lifestyle is, or am I going to try to do something
Right.
different with my life, right? And you have to decide.
Word.
So I'm glad that you got that point across that said, you know what, I wanted to do it myself.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, that shit is important, man. Like you gotta want to do it for yourself, yo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know people have motivations where they say they want to do it for their kids or they want to do it for moms or grandma, you know what I mean? Because you got all those influences, but it's about you, yo. Like this is your life. You know what I'm saying? It's your life. It's
That's
it's
right.
not everybody else's life. Everybody else is just a part of your life. They just a piece in your life. You know what I mean? But it's your life. What are you gonna do? And a lot of dudes, they don't they don't know what the fuck they're gonna do if they come home. You know what I'm saying? I remember one night, I'm gonna give y'all something, right? One night
Talk
we
to
in
him.
I think where the fuck was we at, man? I think we was in Southport, you heard?
Okay.
But I knew it was a white dude that I knew. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? We was in mad other jails together, so I know this nigga. This nigga's crazy, you heard? So he's on the gate arguing with somebody. It's late at night, like 11 o'clock at night, and they going back and forth. So he called me, right? And he's like, "Yo, Ev, if they let you go today, would you go and work in McDonald's?" And I was like, "Nah, you heard?" I said, "No." And he was like, "Why not?" I said, "Yo, because at the time I think I had been down like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So I had learned a lot of shit already. I already knew what I wanted to come home and do and all of that. So I'm like, yo, because I'm not sitting in here learning all this shit to go home and work in fucking McDonald's, dude. Like, I'm not fucking with that." And he was like, "Man, I don't give a fuck. They let me go tomorrow. I'm going to work at McDonald's." And I said, "Yo, you only saying that because you got 25 to life. You got life on the end. So you never know when they're gonna let you go.
Never.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
I don't have life on the end. I know when I'm gonna get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like eventually. If I don't catch another one, God forbid, and all this other shit, I'm gonna get out of here soon. Like they can't hold me beyond this date. But you have life. You know what I'm saying? So you'll tell me anything right now. You feel what I'm saying? You
Right.
tell me, yeah, you're going to work at McDonald's. I bet you $100 you work out that fucking gate. You ain't going to work in no goddamn McDonald's. Fuck out of here with that.
Lying.
You ain't going to do that shit.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you
Right.
lying right now. But
Right.
but at the end of the day, that's when I knew that, come on, dude, I'm not going home for that. You know what I mean? Now, don't get it twisted. I had to get a job when I came home. I worked in Western Beef. You know Western Beef, the supermarket
Of
in the
course. Yeah.
Bronx and all of that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I worked in Western Beef. I worked in Western Beef for 18 months, yo, on a fucking $8 fucking an hour salary, you heard? Like
Okay.
$8 an hour, yo. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? That's how serious I was of staying home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I figured out ways on how to get the government to give me this and do that and this and the third. And I got my own crib and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I was only
Nice.
making $8 an hour at fucking Western Beef. You know what I'm saying? So nigga can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing, man. You could do anything out here. You know what I'm saying? I
That's
mean,
right.
right now this shit look bleak, so they don't fuck shit up.
Right.
But
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
end of
We
the
ain't doing
day,
that right.
yeah, but at the end of the day, motherfucker can't tell me nothing, man. If I could do anything, anybody could do anything, you heard? Because I didn't have no big giant support system. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have none of that coming home. Like I had to really like look around, like, oh shit, like everything changes, yo, after 14 years.
I
You know what
know.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
My
How
my
it?
my son is taller than me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right. Right.
Like my
Right.
son
Right.
is taller than me. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, yo? Like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happened? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Life,
Right.
life happened, yo. You missed it. You missed it, dude. What you gonna do
Yeah.
now? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
That's the way
Right.
how they
Right.
all looked at me. Like, you missed it. So what are you gonna do now? All
Right.
right,
Right.
fuck it. I'm gonna do this. You know, I'm gonna try this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try this. That's one thing about me. I'm not scared to try nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's
I
what's
ain't
up.
scared to try nothing. So
That's what's up, man. Because
I
you know,
can,
even millionaires will tell you, man, they failed a lot. They failed a
yeah,
lot.
man. Yo, you don't learn shit unless you fail, yo.
Right.
That's
Right.
what I
Right.
learned. That's what I learned fucking with Chris Gotti, you heard? That's
Right.
what I learned
Okay.
fucking with him. Smart dudes, man. Them niggas is mad smart. Man, it's mad smart dudes out here. Dudes can, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many ways now. When I was in the street, for real, there wasn't no way. Either you was a rapper, and rappers wasn't even making money like that. But you was a drug dealer or you was a fucking basketball player, something like that. Like you was a prospect, like you was gonna go places, you heard? Other than that, there was nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Niggas wasn't owning their own businesses or making clothing lines and all this other shit. Like, you know what I mean? Dudes wasn't doing none of that. If you wanted to get a book out, you had to go through an agent who would get you into but maybe get you a book deal with a book company, you heard? That's maybe if the agent wouldn't even talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So now the game is so wide open. Like we can do so many things on our own. You know what I'm saying? And hip hop has enhanced us to do that. You can make a clothing line and sell clothes online now. You know, Fashion Nova done proved that.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Tales from the Pen merch is up. Just saying. I'm just letting the people know the Tales from the Pen
Look at
merch is
that.
up.
Tales from the Pen merge is up. You
It's
see
up.
this?
You know
This
what
is
I
how
mean?
this shit works. This is the
That's
way
it.
how this shit works, yo.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
The dream is coming alive. You're gonna produce some shit that you're gonna be like, wow, this is great, man. Hell yeah,
Right.
man. This is what
Right.
you worked for. You know what I'm
That's what I
saying?
work for.
You don't
Right.
give up. You ain't give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you got a lot of sucker niggas out here that gave up, you heard? And yo, that's on you, dude. You know what I'm saying? First of all, we come from the hardest city in the fucking world, you heard? Why the fuck would you give up? You know what I mean? Like, you got too many people around you. You know what I mean? The minute you give up in New York, they're gonna eat you, yo. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yep.
That's the way how this
Yep.
shit is.
It's
So come
crazy.
on, dude. You gotta keep it going. And people are showing it that yo, they're keeping it going. They're keeping it going. That's what's up, yo.
No,
I
I
don't fuck with
appreciate it.
niggas that give up and all that other shit, that
That's right.
fake shit. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean? All that fake. All these dudes they get on social media, they start faking it and acting like they this, that, and the third and all that. Come on, what are you doing that's enhancing you and everybody around you, yo?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I write a movie and I'm producing a movie, that's to give everybody around me a shot and a job, you heard? Come on. You know how to
Nice.
act? Yo. You know what I'm saying? You know how to
Right.
act? Yo, learn this shit right here, son. Learn this shit. You could get money doing this. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Nice.
help these people, man. Like, yo, I didn't have nobody help me on the strip, you heard? We was out there. That's it. It was me and the fucking 40 caliber. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had nobody telling me, yo, you can do this and you can do that. So, yo, the information is here. We are here to give y'all the information. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you
Facts.
need, we can tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like I've learned a lot, and I don't stray away from giving nobody no information. Fuck all of that. You want to get money? Get money, son. You know what I'm saying? I see a
Right.
lot of sucker niggas out here. They know the game. They don't want to teach nobody the game. They think they're gonna keep it to themselves and all this other shit. Come on, man. What is
Right.
that? How are we
Nah.
supposed to grow? You know
That's
what I'm
right. That's
saying?
right. You know why?
How are
Because
we supposed to
we
grow?
come from a different era. You know what I mean? We come from a different place. You know, where we understand certain rules and certain things and help one each one teach one. You know what I mean? When the next man is on, you know,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't get a food tray because the police burned him. We gave him half our tray. You know what I mean? So we come from a different era. You know what I mean? This era now is
Yeah,
just is a little different, but you know, the reality is, it's like he said, if you want it, man, you can go get it. You just got to keep pushing your thing,
that's
keep
right.
pushing whatever it is, keep pushing it on platforms, keep doing what you're doing, you know what I mean? And keep that dream alive because, you know, once that flame burns out from that dream, so do you. And then you fall victim to anything and you'll just be, you know, anything in these streets, man. That's just the way it goes, man. Right? You know what I mean? You got to
No
have an
question.
aim. You got to
No
have a
question.
goal, and you got to
Question.
stick to it, and don't let nobody tell you that you cannot do it. You know what I mean? Because right here, as you see what he has on his name, Author Everlazts is in the building. You know what I mean? And he, you know, he came from reading books to writing them to publishing them on his own to producing radio shows to producing YouTube channels. So when people tell people like Ev that they can't do something, he don't even want to deal with you. He don't want to deal with you. You have to
Nah,
believe in yourself, man. That connection, man. We're going to get him right back up in here, though, in a minute. We're going to continue this interview, you know, just for a few more minutes. I see we already up over the hour mark. You know, sometimes people, you already know how I get down. Sometimes when we just start talking, things just start happening. You know what I mean? Here he is. He's back up in here. Let me get him up in here.
yo,
Yeah,
man, I
okay.
don't
It's
know
all
what
good.
happened, man. We was
It's
running
all
for a
good.
while. We was running for a
Nah,
while.
nah, it's
You
all
know
love.
what I'm saying?
It's all love, man. It's
Yeah.
all love. Now,
Nah,
I was
this is
just telling
dope, man. I
people,
really
yeah,
like your platform, man.
I
You know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
it.
This shit like this is dope, man, because you get to really reach out to people and you get to really tell them what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
yo, you know, at the end of the day, it's all your choice, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's
That's
all
right.
your choice. You know what I mean?
That's
All we
right.
can do is just give you the jewels, you heard? Give you
Right.
the jewels that maybe somebody didn't give us at the time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
this is dope, man. I salute you, man. This is great. You know what I'm
I,
saying? Like
I
you just
appreciate
keep
it.
pushing this shit, yo.
Hey,
Keep
listen,
keep
man.
pushing this shit. and keeping this shit positive. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
all love, man. I
That's word.
appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. You know what I mean?
Word.
I knew from the minute we got on the phone. You know what I mean? I said, oh, it's, you know what I mean? We gonna have a good little interview. It's just organic. It's because that's what I do. I don't write down nothing. All my
Yeah.
thing is organic, man. I just like to get up here and talk to my
No
people.
question.
And you know what I mean? I want to say that, I can definitely speak on behalf of everybody in here, but definitely, on my behalf, I appreciate you, coming up here. I appreciate your story. You're
No
somebody to
problem, man.
admire. You're somebody to look up to. And
Thank you, man.
you're the type of person that these kids need to look up to. Somebody who's out here making it happen on their own, and who've had a past and who've struggled through it just like you have. You know what I mean? To the kids. So salute,
No
Ev.
question.
I'm gonna put
No
everything in the
question.
description, man. I'm gonna have you back up here, man, because I like our
Thank you.
vibe, and I appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
Everybody on the side here,
Anytime, man. Anytime. You know what I'm saying? We here with it. You know what I mean?
it's
Anything, you know what I mean? You need anything, man, you holler at me, man. I got you. You know what I mean?
all love,
I'm
man.
here
I'm,
with it.
and I'm gonna put everything in the description, man. So everyone already started saying they already
Thank
went and
you.
followed your YouTube, man. So it's all love,
Thank
yo,
you.
Ev.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you.
for coming up here, man.
Yo.
I appreciate you, and we gonna chop it up. I'll
Yeah.
chop it up with you tomorrow.
All right, my
All right,
man. Peace.
my man. Peace. Boom. There it is, people. Author Everlazt, man. Go check them out. I'm going to put everything in the description. As you guys know, sometimes, dealing with StreamYard, it won't be up till tomorrow. Most likely till like 12 or 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Then the interview will be up. That's how StreamYard works with YouTube. I can't control it. That's just the way it goes. But as you saw, man, you can do anything that you really want to do, people. This is a fact. You can, within limits, of course. You're not going to be able to jump off a 20-story building and fly. No, if that's what you want to do. But I'm just saying, if you have goals and you have dreams, then you can succeed in life, people. That's basically the model, that he came with, man. And he came from the struggle. You heard the story. He came from the streets to all them years in prison, to box time, to really, because, looking into himself and say, you know what, I can do something with my life. Sometimes it takes, bad things to happen for people to realize that, you know what I mean? And sometimes when the bad things are happening, you really don't understand why they're happening, right? Because you don't see the light at the end of the rainbow, right? And you're talking to somebody who went to trial on felony murder, nothing else. I went to trial on felony murder charges, and I didn't see the end of the light, right? As you guys know, I beat the felony murder, blew the manslaughter. I only had 7 years and did almost 16, right? Because I still didn't see the light, right? But if you believe in yourself, man, like Pac said, if you believe, you can achieve, right? So people, believe in yourself. And you guys know, I just want to keep this interview right here, based to Everlast. So, I'm going to shut this down right now. I appreciate everybody that was in the chat. Dan, Gio, my girl, Quadrex, and Rose. I seen everybody up in here. And we got some other things coming this week. We're gonna be talking to people from Australia. You see, we got Andy. I think he did like 14, 15 years, something like that, in Australia prison. And we got Britta, who's her son has been in and out of and he's actually in the system now, in the Australian prison system. So I want to learn about other areas. I want to learn about different countries. So next interview, we're gonna do them. We're gonna have them up here together, and we're gonna have 3 people on the screen, me and them too. And that's what we're gonna do. So look forward to that. It's coming this week, 100%. And on that note, people, you already know my motto: experience is the greatest teacher. But somebody else's experience could be just as valuable if you listen and pay attention. And on that note, people, salute. Thank you for coming by. Everybody, go to Tales from the Pen. In case you don't know, talesfromthepen.com. Boom, I put my website up last night, people. You can get the merch right off there. Click the merch tab. Bang, it takes you right to the place. So again, people, I appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you again for Everlast for stopping by. And on that note, people, Fred White, signing out.